Do it. 20 over 10. As I mentioned, my name is Ryan Russell. I am the co-founder and CEO of 20 over 10. And I'm extremely excited to talk with you today about 20 over 10 and all of the incredible stuff that's been happening around the company. Some of the things that we're doing, which are really making a tremendous difference in the business of our advisors. As I mentioned, with 20 over 10, 20 over 10 is a digital marketing platform specifically for financial advisors. And this is a space which we work specifically in, meaning that we come to you with a background in design, usability, and user experience, but with a very in-depth knowledge of finance, understanding the complexities of compliance and storage, and all of the speed bumps that you have to navigate as financial advisors as you try to more effectively market yourself. Let's jump right in. There's a couple points that I want to go over today. And these are some of the things that 20 over 10 is really doing so well to help redefine marketing in finance, right? So a couple of the topics that I really want to dive into and spend some time discussing are design, the ease of use of our platform, our content offerings, and how you can utilize it as part of 20 over 10, how we manage and upkeep security, what sort of support you have as an advisor on our platform, how we manage SEO and the tools that we give you to make sure that you're visible online, and ultimately price, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that what you're getting is, price effective. And so we want to go in and we want to do a deeper dive into 20 over 10 and how we really do, things really, really well. Now, first and foremost, I think, anybody in marketing will tell you that, the design and functionality of your website is going to dictate so much about you, keeping in mind that your website is what speaks for you when you're not around to speak for yourself. And one thing to keep in mind is that as a financial advisor, when you speak with, a potential client for the first time, it's not the first conversation they've already had with you. It's probably likely the second or third because they've done their due diligence. They've already gone and done a sort of deep dive into who you are and what specifically you do, right? And the easiest way to find somebody and information about them is online. It's immediately at our fingertips now. And so design, right, is something that we're going to leverage to add value and meaning to your offering, to simplify and clarify what you do, and ultimately persuade people to choose you as their financial advisor. But these need to be informative. They need to be engaging. They need to have clear calls to action that allow people to self-qualify whether or not they're a good fit for you as well. One of the things we talk a lot as we're getting more and more advisors from other platforms is that good design is like a refrigerator, right? When it works, no one notices, but when it doesn't, it really, really stinks. And one of the things that we're finding out are people are spending a lot of money for these monthly fees for other platforms and other services that really underdeliver in terms of their marketing capabilities and giving you the opportunity to really stand out. One of the big things with 20 over 10 is that we do not adhere to templates, right? And other players in the market do, right? We look at providers like FMG Suites, who just recently bought Advisor Launchpad, Emerald, as well as advisor websites, are all locking you into these prefab templates that become extremely problematic, for you to actually stand out. One of the things that we really do is we want to connect with advisors. We want to be able to go in. We need to be able to allow you to have a unique voice, understand who you are and what you do so you can connect. Now, one of the things that I'm going to tell you is this is sort of the easiest sale for me simply because the proof is in the pudding. Do some due diligence. If you're not currently a 20 over 10 client, check out our showcase. Our showcase highlights hundreds of advisors, and every week we're putting out new ones. Go in and take a look because these showcases not only allow you to learn a little bit and see the wonderful work that we're doing, but hear a bit from the advisors and their experience. One of the things that I'll also tell you is we know other providers allow you to sometimes do case studies. Advisor Websites is another example. They have several case studies available on their website that you can find out under, I believe, right on their homepage, perhaps. Go in, take a look at those case studies, download them, and really kind of see for yourself. One of the things that we really like to do is let our work really stand in front of us as the types of things that we really stand for, right? I would also say, too, go in and set up a free trial. Play around with the platform and be able to see how 20/10 is measuring up for yourself. One of the easiest things that we're able to do for you as advisors is give you a platform that is super easy to use. But we have a really unique challenge in front of us, right? At 20/10, we have the difficult challenge to be able to go in and manage and make sure that we're adaptable for that tech-savvy 20-something, but also for that advisor who might be a bit older. Technology is not so, second language and a bit more difficult to navigate. So we spent an incredible amount of time working closely with advisors to find out not only, what you wanted, but ultimately what you need. And what came out of that was a platform that anyone can use, right? So you have the ability to go in and click to edit, right? Everything's inline, so none of these huge, unsightly WYSIWYGs. You can create unlimited landing pages, right? These landing pages that give your audience and niche demographics clear calls to action. You can easily add dynamic blogs and events pages, customize your look and feel ongoing as your company evolves, and of course, access and organize all of your files. Now, one of the great things that we do at 20/10 that we really want to push is that you go in and test us out, right? You can create an account and there's absolutely, no credit card necessary. You can go and you can really pay attention. You'll see our platform is very easy to navigate. Your navigation organized neatly to the side, and it's very easy for you to be able to reorder pages and restructure. And of course, we're seeing all of those changes happening in real time in our website preview. But understanding, of course, we go through the necessary compliance steps to make sure that everything is reviewed and archived appropriately. You can add as many new pages as you'd like, so you're not locked into any specific structure that we dictate. Your editing is in line. So you can go in and you can simply start making changes and see them instantly. What I like to tell people is this: if you can write an email, you can use our platform with ease. Landing pages become incredibly, incredibly easy to utilize. In fact, I'll do one for you right now. We'll add a new page for pre-retirees, right? And I'll just add and we're off to the races. You'll see that our inline editor allows you to click and style so simply so that you always have the ability to make sure that your site is new and it's up to date, right? We can stylize and add columns. We can go in and we can add forms to get people engaged. And for those of you that are even referencing video, you can add dynamic media easily. And just like that, we have a page, right, in less than a minute that now I can email, I can post to social media, drive traffic here for niche demographics or geographic locations to really customize experiences for people. And this is just one of the many things that our platform can do, right? Now, one of the most overwhelming requests that we have was for content. When we started 20/10, we really hesitated to include content simply because the way other providers were doing it in the space, we felt very uncomfortable with. This was content that was stale. It was prefabbed. It was limited in terms of usage. And we found it to be very problematic for advisors because it didn't really sort of fit in with our core, sort of challenge, our core value of giving you a unique voice. One of the things that we did, though, was we worked diligently to create an offering for content that was going to be different than everybody else out there. First thing, when it comes to Content Assist, all of your content is customizable. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of our Content Assist, as your personal marketing assistant. You can use it as a starting point, but the idea here is to add your own unique flavor. All of the content is very, very ownable, right? So understand that at the end of the day, the content on your website is yours. And this is really, really important and something that I want you to take away with you today. When you're working with other platforms in the financial industry, if you're working with Broadridge, if you're working with Emerald, FMG Suites, and some of the less popular, you're going to want to be sure that you fully understand that you are leasing that content, meaning if you choose to leave those providers, your own content is actually not traveling with you, right? And at 20 over 10, we believe the content is yours. It's our goal to give you some of the basics, right, to go in, add your own flavor. And so if you choose to leave 20 over 10 for any reason, you can take that content with you. And of course, all of our stuff is current. Every month, we are dedicated to releasing at least 15 new articles that allow you to create dynamic content wrapped around the topics and subjects that you need, right? We've seen other providers such as Broadridge and FMG, and quite frankly, a lot of what we've heard is that the content is stale. We've seen articles that are still populating, content from 2014, and these are non-evergreen based articles. Their definitions, very dated, right? Or that they're really pushing out, small amounts, maybe just a small handful every month. So Content Assist is meant to redefine content in the marketing platform. And with 20 over 10, this is fast, it's super affordable, and of course it's customizable. It's built right into onto our platform. And of course, it's all industry specific. But more than that, our current users are able to dictate and drive exactly what new topics and new articles are as they come out in future releases. If you check out, our platform, what you'll notice is that our blogging platform allows you to leverage Content Assist, to look through articles, be able to preview those and add those posts immediately. And of course, going into edit, we'll pre-populate everything for you, and you have the ability to customize your metadata for SEO, featured images, categorize as you see fit with your own custom categories, and of course, go in and customize content with the same ease as writing an email. So for example, if you have, an article talking about, the average cost of a home, you might want to jump in and make it specific to your geographic area, right? So making it around Columbus, Ohio, or Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, going in, sourcing some incredible details, adding that to your content and creating that post to move it away from that prefab and give it your own really unique content. Very, very fast, super affordable, and of course, fresh. You'll also notice in Content Assist, as I mentioned before, that it's you, the user, that dictates future articles and topic types. Our goal at 20 over 10 has not been to always, worry about the clients that we don't have, but always work closely with the clients that we do have. So it's you, those that are leveraging Content Assist, that are formulating and helping us shape out our library. Old content is stripped. New content is added every single month. Now, one of the big things that people always ask about when it comes to websites, especially in the age of the Equifax breach and Facebook sharing information, is, well, what do we do about security? And one of the big things that you need to be aware of is that security is not only something that we need to consider, but it needs to be a priority from whoever your website provider is, okay? I can assure you we've just completed our latest penetration testing by a leading security firm, and we're fully compliant with ISO 27001 standards. Now, I'm not going to read off all of these stats because I just imagine everybody's eyes are going to gloss over and roll back into their head. But what I can assure you is what we're really cognizant of is the security of you, the advisor, and your content, your visitors, and any content that they're adding, as well as making sure that we adhere to all of the necessary compliance security standards, such as 17A-3 and 17A-4 as dictated by FINRA. And of course, we're always worm compliant. Sadly, not all providers in the financial space can actually say that, although it is technically a requirement. One of the great things too about our websites when it comes to security is you'll see all of our websites have the ability and come with a one-click addition of an SSL certificate at absolutely no cost, right? We include it with every single one of our websites, and it can be turned on by us or you at any time with a single click. Just to illustrate, as you add your domain, you'll notice that you can go in and enable your SSL, and within 15 seconds, you'll be located at that HTTP address. Another question and things that we've heard from others is that support tends to be a very big issue for users. You know, how and where can I get answers to questions when I have them? And so we want you to know that, you know, everybody working in our team is a small close-knit group of support specialists, designers, developers. So we're here to give you an attentive team of agents. You're going to receive white glove service, and we don't have, you know, any sort of premium cost associated with premium support. We've seen other players in the industries do just that. And essentially that means that there's no incentive, right? If we do that for us to make our product easier to use, when you need to pay us to make even the easiest changes. And we give you a lot of additional services too. Take a look at our support site and you'll notice that you can start chats with our support agents. You can go in and add and search categories, right? So even just by keywords, if you wanted to know, well, how can I go in and add categories to blog posts? We're going to give you detailed steps on how to do just that. And for those of us that might depend on an admin to utilize our site, we have dedicated training guides that anybody in your office can use. These guides are going to be organized so that you can go through in courses, takes less than 60 minutes, and learn in detail all the ins and outs of our platform, exactly how to utilize it. And another added benefit, you're going to hear my voice on these, right? To log into your 20over10 website, you'll see that this covers a lot of what 20over10 can do. And so as admins switch in and out, when people need new training, one of the great things is they are available for you. Our training site, of course, comes complete with, you know, the ability to ticket and reach directly out, and our response time is generally within a day, usually less. Our attentive team of agents and designers and support teams ensures that you always have, you know, ease of use when it comes to our platform, and you always have the resources to be able to maintain all of your content. Now, another big question that we get throughout is, how do you manage SEO? And SEO is a very sort of like broad topic. And so, you know, without giving you too many of the ins and outs about how our sites and why our sites do so well in terms of search engine optimization, I wanted to list about just, you know, 6 features that make ours, you know, really unique within the space. The first is every one of our websites that we develop is automatically responsive, and it always has been. So we saw a time when financial companies were starting to charge more if you wanted to be responsive. But the reality is that responsive is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. Simply because Google dictates now that if you don't have a mobile-friendly website, you will not show up in search results when people are searching for you on mobile devices, on phones, on tablets. As I mentioned, all of our sites come equipped with SSL certificates. And in addition to security, this is a huge benefit for your SEO. You can automatically enable SSL for your website, and you can secure your visitors' connections, right? But Google also really, really values SSL certificates, and they're going to give you a big boost, right, in terms of favoring sites with those HTTPS addresses, right, those secure URLs. Of course, in our platform, you can access and enable your SSL with a single click of a button. You don't even need to rely on our support team. All of our pages are optimized page speeds and on the CDN network, right? So with automatic website caching, gzip, and minification baked in. Trust us when we tell you that our team of developers are among the very, very best, right? So all of our files are served via global CDN for ultra fast load times, right? We've worked diligently hard to make sure that our platform is new, it's up to speed, and it's dynamic. We've seen other providers like Advisor websites be built on top of Drupal be extremely bloated and very, very slow, right? Our platform is built not only to allow you, the advisor, to utilize your dashboard with lightning speed, but also visitors to your website that you create on 20over10 very, very easily. And of course, those load times are going to be lightning fast. We allow much more granular details too when it comes to your content. Things like editable site titles and page titles, right? These are those title tags that are important for usability, for SEO, and even for social sharing. One of the cool things too, and within our platform that you'll see, is that you have the ability to go in and for each page, for every subpage, and for every blog post, you have the ability not only to dictate, what those site titles are, what those page titles are, right? But also go in and customize your meta descriptions and even control social sharing details, specifically what image thumbnails and descriptions are used when individuals share them amongst their own third-party sites and networks. As I mentioned, meta descriptions, those are HTML attributes that provide concise summaries to your web pages and to your blog posts. But what these are also going to do is also be displayed when that page or post or subpage shows up in a search listing. And these are all customizable for you. And of course, all of our sites auto-generate sitemaps. And this is important because these are used by search engines to crawl the site more intelligently, to more appropriately list you with those desired keywords and phrases, geographic locations, etc. We do lots and lots more when it comes to SEO, right? Things from easily adding and updating image alt tags and the list kind of it just on and on and on. One of the things that we're always on top of is, SEO, and we even have an additional service that you can utilize to do a full audit and implementation of strategies to help boost those ratings, if you feel like you need a little bit of help along the way. And ultimately, right, at the end of the day, what really comes down to is what's the price? What's the real price associated for getting a website that's really going to differentiate you in the market? And so one of the things we actually have is a really great in-depth sort of chart here, okay? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to direct you to our blog. Now, of course, we're going to follow up with this PDF, and you can click. This will be fully interactive, so you can check out some of these resources as well. But this comparative chart allows you to see sort of what features are available across, some of the larger providers in the financial space and at what cost they actually give you. Now, of course, I want to give you full disclosure, and I, as I mentioned, am the co-founder of 20over10, so I urge you to go out and see, what others are doing. Right? The monthly costs and what they actually give you. You can jump down here and you can see the full review, what to know, what's unique, what you get. And we've actually had some great feedback from some of our competitors that have corrected some of ours. Sometimes when we had, issues or something that wasn't listed, we've added it in to make this as comprehensive and true as possible. You'll see from, some of the sites that one of the big things here is, your setup fees. FMG, for example, it's $1,000 just to simply select a template and customize some language and maybe an image on your homepage. Advisor websites is similar in their pricing model. And so, to be clear, one of the things at 20over10 that we're really, really after is to make sure that this is unique. So we have some different setup fees. Whether you want to go in and build yourself, similar to how you might operate on a Squarespace site or something like that, you can absolutely do. We have website conversions, but that tailored design for $1,200, that's going to actually get you talking to a designer, not a support specialist. These are going to be people who are going to help you identify those unique calls to actions and help you create an online brand and agenda for your company that's going to help you stand out and actually generate action. right? Because at the end of the day, websites need to be more than just sort of, I exist. They need to say, okay, you're on the site. Now, as an advisor, our first question would be, what do you want them to do next, right? We have additional services as well, as do several other providers, which you can review at their respective pages. Everything from copywriting to social media to logo design, all the way down to analytics and SEO consultations. I would say one thing too is, I want to just sort of harp here and just stick for just a moment on the self-builder. One of the things that always makes me uniquely nervous as somebody with both a tech and marketing background is if I'm unable to play with the platform without a significant investment of money and time. One of the things we found incredibly challenging, even to do our own due diligence and research, is on no other site are we able to create an account and actually start building and play around the platform without giving tremendous amounts of information, waiting an incredible amount of time. Advisor websites is anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour just to set up an account, to actually utilizing the platform, right? Or scheduling. We've seen advisor websites and FMG say, to request a trial, you need to set up a 15 or 30-minute conversation with users. We want you to jump in. You don't ever have to talk to us if you just want to sample. Go in, head to our pricing page, sign up for free, fill out some of those details. You can jump around within our platform and you can really get a feel for how it functions. If you do actually want to self-build, we're happy to help along the way too. We do free consultations. All you have to do is reach out to hello@20over10.com, and there's absolutely no fee to set up. Our monthly fee, of course, is $59 a month, covers so much, right? It's hosting, all of your archiving. If you're with compliance, that's live chat, SSL certificates, unlimited landing pages, et cetera, and the list goes on. It's all available to you. And of course, today we want to leave you something with really special for taking time out of a very busy Wednesday to chat with me. So as I come up on the last 67 that I'm slated to chat with you today, if you're ready to get started, but you're currently with another provider, if you're switching from FMG Suites with advisor websites, Advisor Launchpad, or Emerald, we'll cover your monthly fees through June so you're not double paying. You can simply email us at hello@20over10.com. You can call us directly at the number listed with any questions, right? Even if you as an individual or somebody who needs to run this by maybe the rest of your team, we're happy to set up private demos. If you're with a broker dealer, we have a completely different set of tools for BDs to make sure that they have the ability to monitor all of their advisors' websites. And certainly, like I said, if you want to just sign up and start running on your own, go ahead and sign up today directly from the homepage, and you can start playing around. Now, with that in mind, I know we're running a bit short on time, but I want to open up the floor to any questions. So as I go in here, I will go in and point some things out. If you have questions, please drop them in the Q&A panel. I'm happy to chat with you about any questions that you have. But as I mentioned, certainly we want you to reach out to us directly. If you have any questions at all, hello@20over10. Feel free to call the number listed. As a follow-up, we'll be sending you this PDF. Of course, it's interactive to be able to engage with some of the details that we talked about earlier. If anything needs any fees. What provider isn't worm compliant? Sadly, there's a few. A question just came in, which provider isn't worm compliant? Worm compliance is something that is sort of always evolving. It means write once, read many, and it's a regulation by FINRA and SEC. And so I'm not going to say that specifically. We work with a couple broker dealers that have reached out to us privately after realizing that their own providers haven't been worm compliant, and hence it sparked the move to 20 over 10, which of course we certainly are. Great question. Yeah, so George asked it earlier. How would you credit the source if adding content? You really have a couple different references. We have built-in footers, George, to be able to go in and update as needed. So our footer puts some basic legal language to protect you as the financial advisor, and also to make sure any sort of resources are listed. As you credit sources throughout, keeping in mind that that editor allows you to add sources just simply by typing. Super easy to do and really, really easy. We work with several dozen BDs. We're really excited about the attention that we've gotten, from BDs, and they've been incredibly interested to move away from some of the existing platforms that, again, are really, really sort of priced very, very high with very little ROI. So our list is increasing. So if you have a specific BD that maybe you are working with that you'd like to reach out and ask about, we can certainly let you know. And we can also reach out on your behalf to make sure that they have access to our Providence platform. So what if we currently don't have a website and really know very little about how to develop, what is needed in one, running one, etc. So basically, right, if we take this from the very, very beginning, a total novice, I would say it's in your best interest, at least for 20 over 10. And again, this is going to depend on budget too, but to do a tailored website design. I would also say invest in some copywriting, which we can certainly do for you, right? Our copywriting packages, and I will bring them up here, run sort of in the ballpark of, just close out some of my Zoom panels here, apologies. You'll see these additional one-time fees of anywhere from $400 to $1,200 depending on needs. So if you have no content at all, don't feel like writing any of your content, you'll have access. Now, if you want to see what's included on these two, you can go in and you can see the hours and sort of how we delineate between our copywriting packages and exactly how to utilize them. I would say, between those two items, you're going to get a tremendous amount of content. And of course, we give you all the training resources and support. So it's really, really actually important. And I always like to let people know this, that, when it comes to support as it applies to your website, we never want you to feel like you're on an island, right? That we hand over this new tool and you're on your own. So always understand that our team is standing right behind you as you have questions. So in terms of like ongoing maintenance, the tools are easy for you to use. We want to make sure you're self-sufficient, but in the event of an emergency, we're always there for you, right? So you can reach out at any time. And if we are interested in adding us to an approved vendor list, what's the process? You can reach out to hello@20over10 directly. One thing that I will tell you is if we go to 20over10.com, you scroll down a little bit, check out Providence. Providence is our suite of tools specifically for advisors. You can request access or, again, email us directly at hello@20over10.com. We have a process in place by which we can demo, make sure, answer any questions for your compliance teams, IT professionals, security teams, etc. We have all of the necessary paperwork and process ready to go. We'll do some light testing and get you onboarded. There's no cost, right? George, excellent question. Does 20 over 10 provide the photos? We do not give you a specific library of photos to use simply because we don't want the same 16 photos used across. We've all run across that financial advisor site, right, who has the really old guy with the flowing white hair in the red Corvette driving over the Golden Gate Bridge, and oddly enough, that advisor is in Delaware, right? But I can tell you that we have access to millions of photos through several partners that are completely free to use, right? And so this is one of the things that as we build your site, we're going to source for you. But of course, we can kind of go back and you can, evaluate. Images are something that you might feel very passionately about. I really want this color palette or this texture or this image or this subject matter. Or you might want to lean on us, and we can operate either way. Question, do we need to already have a URL and brand name established? Absolutely not, right? URLs are easy, and one thing that I'll be abundantly clear is it's going to be something that you always own, and we believe in this, right? So if you ever, for any reason, want to leave 20 over 10, we're not going to hold any of your stuff hostage. That domain name will be yours. We'll simply make sure that your DNS is managed appropriately so that your website is visible, right? I fully understand that the process of this can be very, very daunting for novices. And quite frankly, in the financial industry, this isn't, your expertise. This isn't what you get paid to do, right? So at the end of the day, lean on us. We're the experts. I don't manage my own finances. I don't expect to because of how dangerous that can be, right? The same is true for marketing. Lean on us as the most cost-effective platform for you. We can happily go through, reach out to HelloAd. We can even do some private demos. We can customize bundles if there are specific needs for you or your group of advisors. We can talk more about those needs. But let us shepherd you through the process, and we can hold your hand as much as you need. Excellent questions today, everyone. If you have additional questions, please let us know. hello@20over10.com or call us at the number listed, and let's chat. Thank you, everyone, for your time today. I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll chat soon. Take care.